Hey friends, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Deborah's Money Journey. Thank you all for being here today. I am going to be setting up my newest binder. This binder is a home savings binder, and I can't wait to share what my thought process is about, setting this binder up, what my categories are going to be, and what I'm going to be doing with the money once I save it. I hope that you will stick around and watch my entire video. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, my channel is all about my financial journey. I share through cash stuffing, saving money. I also invest. I share my dividend updates. I also set personal savings goals, and I'll share with you how I reach those goals. So I will be sharing my goals for 2026 very soon. But today I'm going to be working on this binder because this is one of my goals, and I want to make sure that I have this one ready to go. So what are your goals for 2026? Please share a goal, drop it in the comments. The other thing I wanted to do is kind of go through my home buying journey. I recently bought a home. Since it happened within the last month, I figured I have some information that may be helpful for someone who's thinking about buying or who is maybe getting close but really don't know all the things that they have to do. I will share with you. I got you. Hopefully you'll learn something and you'll take some of this back with you to help you in that process. But let's get started, everybody. Thank you for being here. I am going to be setting up this beautiful binder. Funny story, I got this binder for a giveaway, and this was maybe a year ago. Well, the person never claimed the prize, never heard from them, and I kept it in my closet because I said maybe I'll give it away again. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I am going to start fresh in 2026. Might as well use this binder. It's new. It's a different, very unique color. It's kind of a cross between purple and blue. I think it's like, is it pewter? Is that what they call it? But it's really pretty. And it even has gray tones in it. And I am using this for my new home savings. And really what this is, it is a 1 month ahead binder. So my goal is to try to get 1 month ahead in all of my categories for my new home. So I'm going to kind of go through what these envelopes are, what they mean. I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to talk about what I went through to buy my home. If you're interested in this type of content, please stay tuned. All right, guys, so first things first, why did I buy a house this point in my life? I actually had a home. I sold it in 2024, late 2024. And I said I'm going to just rent for a while because I really didn't know what my next step was. And so I thought, let me do that. I'm just gonna rent, give me a little time to think about it, think about my next move, and I'm gonna go from there. I'm gonna throw this away. I like A6 binders. They're just easier to work with, or to me they are. Now in the larger binders, you can put a whole lot more in them, but I'm okay because I will be stuffing and then moving the funds to my bank account. I already have a high yield savings account dedicated to my home savings. So once I get a certain amount of money in there, I'm going to move that money to the bank account where it can earn some interest. That's usually what I do. And I'm going to continue doing this. It really works very well. But I'm so excited. And guys, I got this cute little charm from Melissa. Look how perfect. Like, it's almost like she knew this is what I needed, this color. But it goes so well with this binder, it's unbelievable. So I am going to be adding this beautiful little clip to my new binder. Thank you again, Melissa. This is beautiful. I love it. So pretty. How did I get ready? When I thought about renting and the pros and the cons, I realized that I didn't really like renting. So in the month of August, I started looking for a home, or better yet, I started kind of looking to see what was out there. And then I had a talk with my realtor, and I said, I think I'm ready. What do I need to do? Because it had been many years since I purchased a home, and I really was kind of rusty on that. First things first, guys, what do you have to do? Make sure your finances are in order. Make sure you have money in the bank. Make sure your credit is good, and make sure you don't have a whole lot of late payments and you're dealing with collections. That is not the time to buy a piece of property. Those are things that will delay your progress moving forward. So you want to have all your finances in order. So that's what I did. Was I financially ready? Yes, I was, because I have been budgeting, guys. I have been saving. I have been paying off debt. I had just paid off my car. I was ready. So that really helped me, knowing that I had a lot of debt behind me. I paid off those debts, and that I had more liquid cash to work with. So being debt free is it's everything. And then really try to have stable income and a stable job for at least 2 years. They look at your income. Now, they didn't dive into check stubs for 2 years. They just asked for 2 months. But you will have to fill out an application with the person who's going to be trying to find the loan for you. And your application will ask for everything, even blood samples. No, they won't ask for that, but it seems like they're going to get so into your personal business that you're going to think, wow, really, you all? But yes, they will get into all of your business. They want to know about all of the money you have. What accounts do you have? Where is everything? So that information will have to be shared with them. They will ask and they will look into it. So even if you tell them one thing, they still need receipts. They need bank account statements. They need statements from all your income sources. They need W-2s, and they don't even ask you anymore to give a copy. They request them directly from the federal government because I guess they know people can make them up, make up the numbers. Okay, guys, so what do I have here? I have some beautiful envelopes, and this is a housing envelope. I'll probably use this to store my cash when I'm getting ready to cash stuff. So I'll put the cash in there. All right, let me share with you all my envelopes. Let me share what my envelopes are. Okay, so my first envelope that I'm saving for is escrow. The second one is decor. The third one is utilities. Fourth one is home maintenance. The fifth one is mortgage. And the sixth one, that's right, I have a HOA I have to pay. That's extra money. But most places now have HOAs, and it's almost like it's rare not to be in a HOA. It's rare. I mean, you can find it, but again, I know that most places are managed by a company that helps with some of the maintenance and whatnot. But yeah. Oh, I thought this one, these have these little circles that you have to pop out. And I thought that I had finished all of them. I was using a pen, ink pen, to just like pop out the little plastic part. Yeah, because it's like stuck. And then that works very well to get the little circle part out. Okay. All right, and let me make sure all of these envelopes are in here. Okay, so that's cute. All my envelopes are in there. I actually, oh, here we go. All of the little pieces came out. I actually I created all these dashboards myself. Again, everybody has a creative muscle. They just have to use it. And I have not been using mine for a long time, but I said, I'm gonna make my own dashboards, and that I did. I have my own dashboard, so very good. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of myself for trying to be a little creative. All right, so my charm is in there. Perfect. I still have a little work to do to add some things to my binder. I'm not completely finished. I have to look for the right stickers, but so far, I really am loving the color, and I'm loving how this is set up. What is your budget? That's what I would ask myself. How much house can I afford? How much house do you think you can afford? And then try to get pre-approved. So I did get pre-approved, and she asked me, how much house do you want? And I told her. Now, if you don't know, I live in the state of California, Southern California, guys, where we have some of the most expensive real estate. Not comparing us to Northern California, which even has more expensive real estate, but we still have very, very expensive real estate compared to a lot of other places. So when you put a number out there, it's relative to here. Now, my goal of moving was really to move closer to my job. That's what I wanted to do because I didn't want to drive a lot to work. And so that was a big part of my motivation. However, in looking at places that are close to my job, because it's in Metro Los Angeles, it's closer to the city, closer to downtown, those homes are even more expensive, but a lot of them are very old, and the homes I can afford are more run down, or the neighborhoods are run down. And I knew that I just didn't want to live in certain neighborhoods. I wanted to actually feel safe in my home. And so I just made the decision, I'm probably going to have to move and live further out, even though I don't want to. So even though that was my goal to move closer, it didn't happen. I bought a place that's a little further out, and so I did that. And my budget was $500,000, which is $500,000, guys. But I promise you, that's nothing in the state of California. And I told her that's what I wanted. So she worked around the number, and she immediately got me pre-approved because, again, I was ready. My finances were in order. My credit was in order. And that's another thing. They will run your credit multiple times. I think my credit was run at least 7 or 8 times. I was very nervous because I thought, oh, my credit score is going to go in the trash. But, eventually I guess it resets because they must know that you're trying to purchase a home. So my score did go back up. But yes, my credit was run multiple times. And throughout the process, from the beginning to the end, they continue to run it because they want to make sure, I guess, it's legitimate. And so that's something you have to really look at. If you have any paid off debts, they want to see the receipts that you've paid off those debts. I showed them my car paperwork saying my car was paid off because I just paid the car off. And so there was a lot of things I was prepared to show them to help with that process. Okay, so I got my pre-approval letter, and then it was time to go home shopping, right? Okay, let's talk about that in a second. I have a Home Sweet Home envelope because I saw this really, really cute challenge that I just had to have. This challenge was on Etsy, and it's called Home Sweet Home. Look at this. And it is Savings Creations Co. All of these different numbers will, and I actually don't even know how much money you save on this, but it doesn't matter because I love it, and I will be saving and using these funds when I work on this challenge and finish it to add to my envelopes. Okay, but that's one of them. And then I downloaded the 2026 upcoming challenge from the Almost Organized Owl for the upcoming year. This time around, I just downloaded it. I didn't get the one with the stickers on it, but at least I know what the numbers are, so I can get those filled in. So those are my 2 larger challenges, but they will be specifically for the home. I'll put that there. And then I'll put the funds in this envelope here. And another thing is I did get budget sheets because I want to keep track of the money that I am going to be saving, but also spending in some of these categories. So when I showed you my categories, guys, let's go back to budget. All right, so escrow, I want to save because this is a 1 month ahead savings. That's the goal. If I can do more than a month, I will be happy. But right now, let's focus on a month. So I want to save $2,000 in my escrow envelope. That is my goal. And so I'm going to put a budget sheet in there because I want to make sure every envelope has a budget sheet, okay? And so I can keep track of how much money I am adding and spending. Decor, I want to be able to save $1,000 in this one. And this one, I definitely will be using it as I go along because I can never have enough money. 1,000 is really not enough, but it'll be a great start. Okay, what's next? Utilities. Okay, so my utilities, I want to be able to save $600. That should be about $200 for each utility. And I think that'll be a good amount. So $600 is the goal for utilities. And then I have home maintenance. Home maintenance, my goal is $2,000. However, it's ongoing because you will always need money for home maintenance, for repairs. I did get a home warranty. That was something that was the sellers took care of, which, okay. They didn't take care of much, guys, but they did take care of that. So I was very pleased with that, at least. All right, mortgage. Mortgage, I want to get a month ahead. So what does that look like? That's going to be about $3,000. That's what I want to save. So I will have that in case I just need to have a month's mortgage in place. And who knows, I might use that to actually make additional payments. If I can maybe make 2 additional payments for the first year, I will be very happy. I will be very happy because I know this is a big goal. It's going to be a lot of money to save, and it's going to take a while to do it. So that's one of my goals. And then my HOA, again, is $355. So I need $355 is the goal. And I'll put this envelope in the front because this is where I'm going to put the money when I have cash. And actually, I'm going to put this money in there now because I'm not going to cash stuff. But I did get a refund from my home. So let's go back to the home, guys, okay? So my broker, the person who was helping me with the loan, told me I needed to put a $10,000 deposit down. So you gotta have money. I put a $10,000 deposit down, and that's going to open up the escrow. When you open up escrow, you have to have money because there's a lot of fees. A lot of fees. And so that's what happened. Got that taken care of. And once again, $10,000. So when it was all said and done and everything was over, I did get 800 and something back. I think it was like 830. So I just took 800 out because this money is not for me to just fool around with. I'm going to put it back, invest it back into the home. And so this is going to be used for the first cash stuffing for the home binder. This is $800. All right. And so I do have some savings challenges too. I'm still working on the challenges. I haven't got all of them, but I have this home repairs, utilities, I have down payment, I have dollar challenge, I have this $100 challenge, and then this one seems like I can just put whatever number I want. And then I think I have some other ones similar to this. So I have a lot of options. I have the larger challenge. I have something else that I got, these new house challenges. And this one is, you can save $150. So I'll work on this one. And then I have another one, new house. And this one you can save $170. And so this one has, you know, lower numbers. And so it's very doable. So this is another one that I will be working on, those challenges. I got this on Etsy, and I'll have to share where I got them because I don't see the name on here. So I'll have to share in the description. Okay. And then I have a few extra envelopes, which I will use as time goes on or if I need them. But this is my new binder setup, guys, for my new home. And I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to need about $9,000 roughly and that includes everything. And $9,000 is not, you know, chump change. I mean, that is a decent amount of money. So I'm going to need about that much to have a full 1 month ahead savings. For this year, this is my 2026 goal, to make sure my new home binder is set up and that I'm ready to save in this. And I'm ready to save. I'm glad I have some extra money so I can get started and do my cash stuffing very soon. So once you get pre-approved, start shopping for homes. I did go home shopping. I found a few places I liked, and the first one, I liked the home. I didn't like the neighborhood. The second one, I liked the home. I didn't like the layout. I wish the layout sometimes would be different. The third one, the home was beautiful on the inside, but there was no outside space, none. The fourth one was, I really thought was the one, even though that one didn't have a patio either. And the person who was selling it decided to go up on the price because he said a lot of people wanted to buy it. Well, if you list a price for your home and then you try to raise the price, I'm not interested in purchasing, because I feel like you're going to do some fraudulent stuff, and you probably already have. So I did not agree to that one. I moved on. So the current home I have is further out, but it was a completely remodeled home. I think it was like a flip, because it wasn't owned by a person. A company owned it. They completely remodeled the home. I mean, everything in the kitchen's new. Everything's color coordinated. Everything is, updated. The appliances are beautiful. I love the big farmhouse sink in the kitchen. And I had to put all the window coverings in the home. So there was a lot of things I had to do, but the compromise was the home felt nice. It felt manageable. I went from 4 bedrooms to now I have 2 bedrooms. It's just me and my son. 2 bedrooms is enough. And so when I put my offer in, took a few days, it was accepted, and then again the steps started. And guys, you will be filling out paperwork. You'll be filling out paperwork in your sleep. There was so much paperwork to fill out. And you have a notary coming over with a packet of about 50, 60, 100 pages. I lost track of all of the pages and papers I had to sign. It was a lot. And you have to make sure that you're really serious about this decision, because it is a very expensive decision. Then you're asked about your down payment. Oh yes. And so you have to have that money set aside, deciding what percentage, 3%, 5, 10, 20. And then once you make your down payment decision, that money has to be wired by a certain date so that it is finalized. And then once your paperwork has been accepted, your signatures, your down payment, you agree on the terms, and whatever you needed done, fixed, whatever, from the seller, and all of that's taken care of, is agreed upon, then they're going to start to close on the property. And that process takes now everybody's different. Mine was a very quick process because I was very, very prepared. So I really didn't have a long waiting period to purchase from beginning to the actual date of actually buying the home and then moving in. It was a pretty standard, simple process, except, again, I'm explaining that there's so many stages and there's so many steps and there's a lot of paperwork, and you just have to be patient. You have to be diligent, but make sure, number one, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're financially ready, that your budgeting, your savings, and your credit is good to go. Get pre-approved, do that so you know exactly what you can afford, and then start shopping. Make sure you look really closely at what you like and take your time if you have to go back to a home more than once. And don't just look at the home, look at the surroundings, the neighborhood, the area, because you're going to be living there. You want to feel comfortable in your new home. And then make sure your offer is fair. Make that offer and get your inspections, get your appraisal. And then once the underwriting happens, you will be told what day it's closing, and voila, your home will close. Closing date, everything's signed, all the deposits have been made, and they will come back to you and tell you that the very next day, it is your home. You are officially the owner of that property. The transfer has taken place. So that is what happened, guys. That process didn't take long. It was long in a sense that there was a lot of stages, a lot of paperwork I had to sign, a lot of back and forth with the escrow, the lender, my realtor, just a whole lot. But all in all, I will say that the process was handled very well. I thought everybody did a great job piecing their part together. They kept me informed every step of the way. The lender, just amazing, was a really good company. The person I work with, I really liked working with her because she was always keeping me updated about every single thing. And if I had a question, she was there to answer it. So I didn't have any questions about that. But that is the process, guys. That was the process that I went through, at least. And now I'm in my new home. It doesn't have everything I want. And that's the other part. You're going to have to sometimes just compromise. You may not get everything you want, but I'm very, very pleased with my home where I live. I actually love the neighborhood, learning the area, and so I'm very pleased with it. But now it's time to start saving some money because I am going to need this money to make sure that I am financially sound in my new home. And what better way to do that is by cash stuffing and having some savings set aside for the big essential parts of being a homeowner. I hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting Deborah's Money Journey. I will be back talking about my goals for 2026, so I hope to see you again in my next video. Take care. Bye.